Hi. Do you know that in matters concerning you, you are the major determinant factor? Yes, I mean in every life issue concerning your particular self, you are the major determinant factor. God is the same yesterday, today, and forever. In other words, He does not change. He is that same God, that loving Father that gives good things to His people. He remains that same God. But why is it that sometimes we expect things to be beautiful, but they don't appear to be that beautiful? Does it mean that God is changing in His nature or His principle? The answer is no. He does not change. Because in the equation of life, God is a constant factor, while man is the variable factor. In other words, what becomes the end point or the outcome of the manipulation of the equation is the variable factor. That is why a set of people may desire the same thing, they may say the same prayer, they may be part of a fasting program, but their outcomes will be different. Faith is a major factor that determines what you can receive. So what it means, therefore, is that we influence what comes to us. Even though God is our source, we influence what comes to us and what we do not have. Number one way man influences what comes to him is faith or fear, or if you like, doubt. Jesus was the same person that was performing miracles as you can find in the scriptures. But when he got to his own place, the same Jesus, full of power, was not able to achieve much, was not able to perform the miracles he was performing in other places. What was the reason? Because the people there did not believe in him. Did it mean that Jesus changed? No. Those people influenced what they received from Jesus. That is an example of faith. And that is why Jesus will always say, let it happen to you according to your faith. In addition, he says, whatever you pray for, believing that you have received, that you will receive. Believing that you have received. That is about faith. Another one, giving is also a principle. You can use giving or service, or generally what is called seed sowing is also a factor that can influence what comes to you from the Almighty. 1. The Bible says that he who gives to the poor lends to God. What does it mean? It means that anytime you share what you have with people who do not have, you are lending to God. And you know what? There is no way God will owe you. He will return to you in many folds. Like the Bible says, give for it shall be given unto you, full measure pressed down, shaken together and running over, shall men pour unto your bosom. So, it depends on you giving. Alright? Next thing is your general mindset, your thoughts. What do you think? What do you imagine? What situation do you create in your mind? I continue to say this because everything about life is there in the heart. Be careful what you think, for your life is shaped by your thought. So somebody that has negative thoughts always, even if he fasts and prays, may not receive his expectations from God. Another way we influence what comes to us is our utterances, our words. Life and death are in the power of the tongue, and those who love it shall eat its fruit. So what are you saying? You may spend 3 hours in prayers if you are a prayer warrior, even if you spend 5 hours to pray. The remaining 19 hours, what do you say? That is what matters. Because everything you do in life is prayer. So what if you spend 3 hours making positive declarations, but when you are yourself, your real self, you are not praying. You are saying negative things. You don't expect miracle because you don't believe in miracle. Okay? So there are so many ways we influence what comes to us. But because we don't understand this, in most cases, we will be asking God, where are you? Or God, why me? These questions are not necessary. You are the one to answer the questions. Why won't it be you? You are the one that think negative thoughts. You are the one that speak negative words. You are the one that do not believe or doesn't. You are the one that doesn't believe. It's you. Don't call God any name that is not His. Let's keep working on ourselves. I keep telling people around me, anything I don't have yet, I don't blame God for that. I am responsible.